Hello there, welcome to Vampire Screen Reviews, one of my three channels. Um, we are doing, I don't know if you can tell, there's a bit of a giveaway just there. We're doing a film review on a Bollywood film called Hindustani. This is one of my favourite Bollywood films. It's from 1996, which is kind of like the era of Bollywood that I like. I like the era of kind of like early 90s to kind of early 2000s, just kind of edging into maybe 2001, 2002, that kind of era. But from like 91, 92, just that decade there is my favourite era because it has stars like we have in this one. We have Karishma Kapoor, we have Aishwarya Rai, we have Shilpa Shetty, we have Madhuri Dixit. We have quite a range of female stars, which obviously is always good. But then you have like male stars like Shahrukh Khan, Amir Khan, who's in this one, Sanjay Dutt, Abhishek Bachchan, pardon me, Sunny Leone, not Sunny Leone, Sunny Leone's a porn star. Sunny Sunny Deol, that's the one, Deol, and his brother Bobby Deol. All these kind of like the stars of that kind of period. Maybe some of them go into the 80s a little bit, but they're all kind of like the 90s. But anyway, back to this film. I say it's from 19. Excuse the brightness. I've got me little notepad. That's the word. Notepad up, just to remind me of pointers to make. I say it's called Raj Hindustani from 1996. It is obviously Bollywood. It is Hindi. It is Indian. It is a musical. It is about 3.5 hours long, if not, well, maybe 2.5 to somewhere between 2.5 and 3.5 hours long. I can't quite remember. I haven't watched it recently, so all this is kind of like memory and doing a bit of research and everything. But it stars Raja Hindustani, the main character name, who is played by Amir Khan. I will put his picture just down here, just below the film, just there. He stars in it, and he plays a poor taxi driver who falls for a rich girl called Artie, who is played by Karishma Kapoor, who I'll put just here, just there. By the way, this is what I'm going to do now for these things, but the picture of the film and then any characters or whatever that I talk about down there. Just a way of using that little space. But yes, Roger, a poor taxi driver, falls for rich girl Artie. She's looking for her dream, like her mum and dad had when they were young. They met over some kind of mystical, kind of magical, romantic kind of setting in a little remote village, from what I can remember. And she decides that she's gonna go hunting for her ideal husband, future husband, or whatever, in this kind of strange kind of country kind of scene. Lots of things play out with other characters and other kind of subplots, but the scenes where kind of basically Roger is showing Artie all these different scenes and scenery and places that he really likes and finds amazing, and through that she kind of falls in love with him. I mean, he falls in love with her straight away, literally from the very get go. He falls in love with her, but it takes a little bit of time for her to fall in love with him. There's a scene where it rains. They're caught out in the rain. They get wet. There's thunderstorms. They get scared, and then they kind of like a big clap of thunder comes, and they kind of hug each other, and like they're like kiss, which is kind of the forbidden thing in Hindi, kind of certainly Hindi cinema. It's kind of like when that happens, they're going to get married and have kids and blah 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 blah. But it's the whole kiss thing is very symbolic. One of my favourite songs comes up. Her dad comes to pick her up, to take her back home because she's being a silly girl, blah 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 blah. And on their way back to the airport, they stop off at this little kind of gypsy camp kind of thing, and Roger starts singing, because they always burst out and singing lots of songs. He bursts out singing about his love for her. Her dad thinks that it's kind of just some kind of like story, but in actual fact, it's kind of them both kind of connecting and deciding that they're going to spend time together. So she kind of moves away from her dad, kind of rejects her dad's kind of nonsense, because she doesn't want anything to do with it. He thinks it's all kind of a bit of a faff and a bit of a fantasy, and nothing will come of it. So they get together. They get married against her parents' wishes. He's not got really family, so there's nothing there. He's just got like friends and close kind of people there with him. But no, it goes against, without family consent, without family their wishes. Eventually they try to kind of reconnect, and kind of like make up for things, but at the same time there's like an underlying kind of plot to separate them, so that Artie moves back in with her dad and stepmom, and they'll say the third party, but it's like all this kind of like hidden, kind of secret kind of plan going on. Vardra gets drunk, listens to a load of garbage that everyone spurts about them. Artie and Vardra have a fight. They split up. By this time, she's found out she's pregnant. She goes off, has a kid with, because they split up, and she stays with her dad. He goes off back to the village. She has the kid. He finds out about the kid. I can't remember how he finds out about the kid, but he finds out about the kid. Comes back and kidnaps the kid, and then they all burst out in song to kind of remind him of all the good times and how nice it is to be in love and everything. It says here, family invite them for a meal and hope to break them up. Roger gets drunk and believes what's being said. They fight and split up. She becomes pregnant. He finds out and kidnaps the baby. People sing to him to bring him back to his senses. Basically, he's kind of wild, kind of like beard and wild eyes, and kind of like kidnap the baby. So yeah, it all ends happily ever after. These things always end happily ever after. The Roger and Hindustani, the film, is available on YouTube. There is a non-subtitled version of it on YouTube. and it's also available on Amazon Prime in the UK. I don't know about any other country. I don't know what kind of TV screenings they have of the film, but in the UK it is, from what I can gather, only available on Amazon Prime UK or YouTube. I'm going to assume that the Prime UK one has subtitles. I don't know, because like I say, I've got it on DVD. It is obviously available on DVD. Might be available on Blu-ray. I'm not sure. But what you can do if you like desperate to watch it and you don't understand Hindi and you don't want to fork out money in the long run, there are programs you can get. Excuse me for a second. You can buy programs, download programs or whatever. I don't know how legal it is, but you can get programs that allow you to download YouTube videos. I've bought a program that does such a thing because I quite like to have references to certain things that I'm doing, like if I'm doing a scene in OBS or doing a template in GIMP or something like that, and I need to know, because I forgot how to do it, I need to know how to do a certain thing, I can just reference this video in my files and just watch it through it and so on, rather than log into YouTube, typing search, or go into my favourites and bookmark stuff. I can just go to the video and just do it that way. So I've got this program that does that. You can download the film, you can download Hindustani, and then for free you can find the corresponding subtitles. Subtitles are free. You don't get charged for them. There's a ton out there. It's a bit hit and miss as to which one goes with which particular download you've got, depending on where you've got it from and everything like that. But it's a case of mix and match and hope you find the right one. And then obviously you can watch it like that. The subtitles are available in all kinds of languages. Obviously it's still available in Hindi, Telugu, Urdu, English. Shut up. Basically, if you think of a language, there might be a subtitle for it. But obviously if you're English because you're watching this, then you can find that like that. That's all I'm going to say about this. It is a brilliant film. I give it, personally, it's quite an old-ish film now. It's 24 years old. Well, not even 24, it's 26 years old now. Quality of the songs are still brilliant. The songs are just like really kind of catchy kind of tunes. The quality of the film, however, as in picture quality, isn't the greatest because it's only Bollywood and they obviously don't use high quality stuff. It's not low quality either. I think they're getting better with it these days. But it's kind of aging, so the film itself feels a little bit old. But the acting, they are some of the biggest actors that are in this film. You got Johnny Lever in the film, and he's like a huge comedy guy in films in India. Last time you got Karishma Kapoor, she's like a huge 90s Bollywood icon. Amir Khan is a huge Bollywood icon from the 90s. You know, they went on to do other films together. You find they tend to do that once you get a pairing that work well. They tend to do other films around the same kind of not setting, but kind of genre and plot lines. They work together and together and together. But I can leave it here. I'll give it possibly a 7.5, 8 out of 10. Purely because it hasn't aged brilliantly. Yeah, So, see you all in another one. Whenever that might be. I don't know. Bye.